Hey guys, Mike here. So, looks like Jerome Powell went ahead and tanked the market again. At least that's what we're going to hear about. He stepped to the mic today, and the market did not like what he had to say, which was the usual of what he has to say. So, nothing different. They just took advantage of, moving us down, clearing some stuff up at the bottom. We'll go over a level 2 watch, okay, if you're looking for a continuation to the downside. Did not happen today, but if it does, then maybe you'll get your continuation, or we'll do the 11,750th failed breakdown, I guess. We'll have to see. Because remember, we are in this window of weakness, right? This area, okay? So we'll see if that's going to be the case. Also, we're going to go into Tesla with a big question coming up for it. I'd like to hear your opinion on that. Amazon got just nailed with news event after news event. It's amazing when you break a trend line and break a major moving average, how all of a sudden the news just starts coming out, one thing after the other. It's always fun to watch them do that. Also going to NVIDIA, and then we'll go into the high beta stuff, kind of what I've been talking about. But I will start off with this right here, and it's another loaded video for you. So this is where money's been going, and this is basically what you see behind the scenes helping to hold this whole thing up right here. You can see where some big money's been flowing, which is no surprise. This is the weekly ETF flows. And you can see where'd it go. Large caps, baby, $21 billion worth. And U.S. broad equities was second, but it was all about the mega caps. And you can see that. I mean, NVIDIA was running up, right? So was Apple, Tesla, all those. And when you see what's really helping push this up, I did a whole members video on this last week and with a bunch of different things. But two of them was this right here. And this came out yesterday, right? FINRA margin statistics. This chart right here, which I like. And it just continues to run up, setting record after record after record. And no surprise. I mean, I think if I'm not mistaken, that video even said like it's where margin debt had equaled, or for the first time eclipsed $1 trillion, I believe it was. And so again, that will help push a market up. So it shouldn't be a big surprise. Then the other one, which most people don't even think about, is foreign ownership of U.S. equities continues to go up. I mean, billions upon billions flow in every month into the stock market, okay, from foreign investments, okay, because our stock market is number one. And so that's the way it is. CTAs, they continue to do what? They're not trendsetters, they're trend followers. The trend has been up. So of course you can see from 1 month to yesterday to today, as far as the S&P and stuff, they're still going strong right now. Gold, you can see, definitely still going strong. No shocker there. And so that continues to kind of hold this thing up. So that's kind of what's been happening behind the scenes. Now, of course, today, nice red candle right here. And you can see I marked this stuff out the other day. Whether it happens or not, this is just liquidity to be had. This puts in the discount right there. And then, of course, down below some more. But it was funny to watch people's reaction because, obviously you see this is traders. I love this meme right here where they're getting ready, setting an alarm for Jerome Powell. And, of course, he says, "Good afternoon." And the market goes, "Well, see you later." And it tanks. And, of course, everybody's like, "Oh, my God, this is terrible. It's over." So, but I love that meme. And if you're looking for it to continue, all right, continuation, you just want to see the prior day low closed below, okay? It went below it, right? It wicked below it, and then that's where we got the bounce from, not once, but twice today, okay? That's why you saw the bounce. These are massive levels, which, of course, traders look for all day long to be taken, and usually you'll get a bounce once you take a prior week low, prior day low, that kind of stuff, unless something else is going on. But we couldn't close below it. So if we're going to get any kind of continuation, we'll mark this out. I don't know what's going to happen overnight, but we'll be interested overnight. Maybe if we came up, took some liquidity up here, right, hit the 0.5 fib, maybe in the gold pocket, and then started coming back down. If you get a close below this, a daily close below it, then, you could be in business. Maybe it's not going to be another failed breakdown, right? FBD, we'll start calling it, because we've had God knows how many over the last few months here. And so we'll find out. Again, that weakness, that window of weakness is here. Again, that window of weakness, I mean, we're in it, right? So we'll see. OPEX is over. Now, one thing that will be the chart heard around the world is this triple top, which we talked about yesterday, because remember, you have the double top heard around the world on NVIDIA when it tanked the first time. And it was selling down well before Trump ever held up that little tablet with the tariffs on it, okay? And what was interesting, though, it'll fly in the face of what I was seeing yesterday with all the calls calling for like between 190 and 205, somewhere in there. So we'll see who's going to be right, because they'll lose their shirt if they don't. But if you look where it bounced today, it was in that area, around that 178.28 area. That's where it did hold. So we'll see if it gets to bounce tomorrow. Tesla, my big question is this. We came up into this box right here, as we talked about, mitigated some of that. Down below, we still got 397, 402 area. The big question is what's going to happen October 1st? Because we know on October 1st, as I put in the morning news brief, that's when this whole 7,500 EV tax credit is going to go away. We know it helped with sales because I've asked you, I've asked everybody and their mother about it, and it just makes sense, okay, that this will be the case. We know also it helped because even as Tesla and me and you talked about, they've been front running sales. We've been running in trying to get this credit. They wouldn't be running in if the credit didn't mean anything, okay? So the bigger question is, what do you think is going to happen when it comes to car sales, which is why Tesla's trying everything and Elon Musk's trying everything to say, hey, we're not a car company, we're not even focused on it anymore, we're going to focus over here. But it would make sense that all of them would drop. Okay, that would be the big thing. And so let me know what you think in the comments. Again, Tesla doesn't move off reality, of course, because they're just, I mean, they've been going up like crazy. And so far you've seen what? We knew the sales were going to be better than they were supposed to be because people are going to front run. Elon said it himself. What's going to happen on October 1st if sales drop off a cliff? Is Tesla stock going to respond, or is it just going to be going up and up and up, waiting for Optimus and whatever else, robo-taxis? I mean, that's really the big thing. So I'm just curious to get your thoughts on that and how you think it's going to affect it. Now, Amazon here, you can see big old red candle, broke that trend line right there. It goes back to August, broke the 50 moving average right there. And it got hit with a slew of things. One is this whole H1B visa stuff, whether, $100,000 per. Well, guess who's number one on the list? Amazon. So we'll see what they're going to do about that. But if they just say, the heck with it, we got to pay it, well, that's a lot of extra expense, right, that they wasn't accounting for. The other one hit today, and when it's, stuff starts going red, you start getting piled on. Amazon plans to shut down UK grocery stores. They just opened like 4 years ago to really concentrate on more e-commerce stuff. And then you got Amazon has the trial. So they're being sued by the FTC right here, Federal Trade Commission, about how they've been handling their paid membership and everything, making it harder on folks. Also, when you look over at the last thing, it was like Amazon stock is now big tech's biggest loser, and it's because of all of a sudden they're talking about the second quarter Amazon Web Services, which is the cloud part, having only 17.5% growth when Microsoft had 39, Google had 32, and of course they had lackluster results as far as guidance on this. So it was just a pile-on day on Amazon. Okay, so they got piled on. So the question is, they're at the golden pocket now. We get a bounce from here, or we're going to come down and maybe even get a 200 test around 214, 215 area right there. If we're going to get the 200 moving average retest, that's the question. And so they just got piled on. If the market continues to show weakness, obviously this one's definitely going to go down because it's already heading down for sure. But I'm not going to be surprised, with the red day we had today, if it's another failed breakdown, if we get a bounce up, maybe the 225 area, and then start to sell down. But the one thing I'm definitely paying attention to, if it does get a bounce, is the break of that trend line right there, okay? Because it has to break and start forming more upside, higher lows and higher highs. But when you had NVIDIA down, Tesla down, Amazon down, then yes, the market is going to be down, okay? Now, speaking of the opposite kind of stocks, high volatility stocks. This is what I was talking about when I say, man, I feel like it's 2020-21 vibes, right? And you can see where it's going. It started coming from the same area. You can see they're going crazy right now, and you're seeing low volatility stocks just kind of cruising along. But it's all these high beta stocks, man. A lot of them you're seeing coming off the Russell, okay? And we've talked about these ASTS, and gradually we took this one. We talked about it before it broke out. That one hit the 0.79 fib today, and these move quick. I mean, that's just the way it is. They're all basically lower float stocks, highly shorted, especially if they're on the Russell right there. And so that one got up there today, big move for it. You start going through the list though, and it's like every morning it seems to be a nice little sell down, and the dips are getting bought up like crazy. IONQ 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 straight green days after breaking through this trend line. It's basically the same pattern. Like every time there's a trend line be broken, they break it, they just rock it, man. I mean, this thing's going from 42 to 75 bucks. RGTI. Again, there's another one, mini green days that had one red, and then it started rocketing, I believe, at 130 off of another stock that had good news, if I'm not mistaken. This one didn't even break a trend line. It's just been riding the trend line, boom, gets the news. And these supercomputer stocks, they'll get the news on one, and then they're just, all of them just go crazy, okay? Oklo, you already know about this one, and you can see it hadn't hit that trend line at the top, which is what I've been waiting for, but it is extended beyond belief. But this side, it broke that trend line, retest, gone, okay? And this is what's helped IWM push up. It hit the next fib to the T, 247.13 right there, which we had talked about, closed below previous all-time high, basically just kind of consolidating this very tight area right here. But these high beta stocks, which of course what a lot of Russell stocks are, which of course benefit from rate cuts and everything else, They're the ones helping push and push and push this one up here. And all I'm looking for is the same way you just saw in Tesla, the same way you see in a lot of these, is I just want to see if this trend line holds or not. Like once it breaks, I know we'll get, maybe a decent sell-off, okay? But I just want to see if that's going to hold or not. What's interesting about Russell here is nearly 4 years without a new high for small caps, and you can see this is normal. I mean, just look at this. How many times this happened? And you can see in 2004 it happened, 2011. It was only 1 year, and it was 2011, where it wasn't a whole lot of green. Every other one on here, a lot of green, especially 3 months, 6 months, 12 months out. Even for this one, like the next month. I mean, 2013, 16, 20. Now, because somebody asked about this one in Saturday's video, can it be a real stock or just a meme stock? Here's Open Door. This is prime example. Finally breaking this trend line. I put in the Discord, I was like, wow, the trend line seems to mean something. I mean, after 1,500% move up, it opened below it, closed below it. So now, is it a real stock or is it just a meme stock, right? Because we have cut rates. Technically, it is a real estate stock. We're going to find out. This is where we get to see a real stock, not a meme stock. What it would do is respect market structure. It may come down, fill this gap right here, hit this discount window, and then, of course, do what? Bounce. That's usually what they'll do, okay? And so, we'll see if that's going to be the case. You have the 50 moving average down there. Maybe we come down even farther, get a 50 retest, get a bounce from that. Because technically, you see the squeeze to the left, and then it kind of stair-stepped its way up after that. And so that's what we're going to get to find out. You'll get to see. I mean, if you see some crazy drop like you did the first time, and it's going to drop, 40, 50%, then that's just a meme stock as far as I'm concerned. Again, you can have your own opinion on it, but seriously, that's just not a legitimate stock. And so, we're going to see if this is what the case. You see there's support here for it between like 4 and 550. Support up there. What is that, like 675 to 715, I think it is. And so we're going to find out very quickly. And so if it does, and then also you start hearing the company report stuff like, hey, here's what we're doing business-wise, then yeah, you can get out of the meme territory for sure. If you really what you want to happen on this one is just consolidate, right? So, but those are the areas I'd be looking at to see if it's going to be a real stock or just continue to be a meme stock, okay? Now, earnings here, we got Cintas in the morning. That's the uniform company. And then KB Home, speaking of real estate. And then Stitch Fix. And then as far as data, you got new home sales, crude oil inventories, and that is it. A lot of FOMC members as usual. So, hope you got something out of it. Hope you had a great day today. Please hit that like, subscribe button on your way out. Think about signing up for the membership. Less than McDonald's combo at $7.99. That is everything you get with it right there. All you got to do is hit the first link down in the bottom of the description and pay the full year up front or just pay monthly. It's up to you. So anyway, I'll end up seeing you guys tomorrow to wrap up another fun day, which I think it will be.